Thank you very much, Mr. Hong. It is good not to see that a country like Korea is committed so much, and extending the reach and the benefits of technology to so many people around the world. It's good to hear that. At this point of the session, we are going to listen to Mark Surman. He's the Executive Director of Mozilla Foundation, and he couldn't be here with us, but he wanted to send us a message. So we are going to listen to his video. With all of you, Mark Surman.
Hi, Mark Surman here from Mozilla. Thank you so much for having me here by video at this conference. As you may know, I was the founding director of telecenter.org years ago. It was really one of the most rewarding things that I had ever done in my life to be involved in telecenter.org. Rewarding because the vision of telecenters as the grassroots innovation hubs of the world is just so compelling. The idea that putting technology, information, knowledge into the hands of individual people, groups in every village, town, and city in the world is the fuel of innovation. That's an inspiring idea. When we first started out telecenters, well over really 2 decades ago, there was a need for basic access to the technology. And now we're moving into the era where, billions of people will be online with phones. They'll have the basic technology. But what they won't have is necessarily the knowledge of how to fully unpack and use and tap the power of that technology. I think there is a huge role, a bigger role than ever, for telecenters and for people like you in the era of phones and the internet and smartphones in driving that innovation again. And one thing I would invite you to do in closing as a part of maybe working together towards those goals is get involved in what Mozilla is doing over the next few months, which we've agreed to kind of do jointly with telecenter.org. And that's something called Maker Party 2013. We really believe that the on-the-ground spirit of innovation is founded in the idea of just getting people to make and create with digital tools, with the web. So this summer, or over the next few months, as a repeat of what we did last year, we're asking people to organize events where they just get together with people and make things and learn more about how technology can be powerful in their lives. If you go to webmaker.org/events or webmaker.org/party or get some of the information there at the Spark event, you can see how to get involved. I see telecenter leaders, telecenters, as absolutely the vanguard of continued innovation, continued creativity, continued empowerment in the next 10 years, just as much as they have been in the last 20. Thanks again, and really enjoy each other while you're there. Hi, Mark Surman here from Mozilla. Thank you so much for having me here by video at the Spark conference. As you may know, I was the founding director of telecenter.org years ago. It was really one of the most rewarding things that I had ever done in my life to be involved in telecenter.org. Reward?
Okay, that was a mistake. We were going to listen again to the whole video. Okay, so you have written down that you have the Maker Party, no? So that's a good initiative. Okay, now we want to shine a spotlight on a regional study. It is called the MIREIA Digital Inclusion Study. And to know more about this, we want to welcome Gianluca Misuraca. He is the Senior Researcher at Joint Research Center, Institute for Prospective Technological Studies of the European Commission. So let's welcome Gianluca.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Y bueno, en primer lugar.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Well, first of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this magical event. I would like to thank them for the opportunity to show our initiative to MIREIA, Telecenter Europe, Telecenter Guadalinfo Network in Andalusia. And I would also like to mention all the organizations which have been part of this forum and the telecenter movement worldwide.
My presentation, and I will try to be brief as I'm the last speaker in this session. So first of all, as it was mentioned, I work for the European Commission Joint Research Center, that is the in-house science service of the Commission, in particular the IPTS that is based here in Andalusia in Seville. And our role is to provide evidence-based research in support to European policy making. And in particular, I work in the Information Society unit where we deal with all issues related to ICT and digital living in general. It was mentioned this morning by Commissioner Neelie Kroes and by many other speakers that we live in difficult times. We are actually experiencing the deepest recession since the beginning of the EU and a high level of unemployment, especially among the younger generation. And poverty is rising. Actually, it's quite scaring, but 1 out of 4 Europeans is actually today in a condition of risk of being in poverty or social exclusion situation. And this is because actually social exclusion is a vicious cycle, as if you get unemployed, you can be in a situation of need, and if this is not properly addressed, this can bring you into a situation of social exclusion and poverty. So it is one of the main challenges of the Europe 2020 strategy to get out 20 million of people from this situation of risk by 2020. And the EU is actually trying to address these challenges with a number of measures. Well, you are aware of the various employment or social investment packages. Actually, representatives of member states today are in Brussels discussing youth unemployment. But social innovation is also gaining a momentum into this field as a possible response. And this is because it is proven that there is a positive correlation between innovation and employment. And ICT plays an important role in this as an enabler of innovation. But on the other side, we also see that there is a fragmented picture in the European map of innovation, with the regions and countries that need more in terms of employment and inclusion that are lagging behind in terms of competitiveness and innovation. So we believe, and this has been part of the inclusion policy in the last few years, that if we put together innovation and inclusion in the same equation, we can actually provide a powerful contribution. So as ICTs are able to probably initiate this virtuous cycle that may address the social exclusion vicious cycle we have seen earlier. And for this reason, we also need you, and you are probably the most important element in the equation as the inclusion intermediaries like telecenters, libraries, various civil society organizations around the globe and in Europe have a crucial role to play, but so far has been given limited policy attention. And also there are important knowledge gaps. Some of them are, first of all, to know who we are, who are the telecenters and what they do, and so to better understand their policy potential, and also to better assess their impacts, what is the contribution of these inclusion intermediaries and organizations to socioeconomic development. And also we have seen that there is a need of enhancing capacities in data collection, and so to have more evidence to show the various impacts we are talking about. And that's why MIREIA, measuring the impact of inclusion actors in Europe, has been set up and launched last year with a twofold objective. First of all, to map and who are these inclusion actors across Europe and better understand their potential, and then to design and test a methodological framework to assess impacts and provide evidence to policymakers and practitioners about the potential of inclusion. And this is being done as an initiative of the IPTS in collaboration with DG Connect, but also in collaboration with many organizations and the stakeholders like Telecenter Europe and various of its members. And as far as the first objective, we have been running in collaboration with Telecenter Europe a survey in the EU 27 countries. That is, first of all, the first ever exercise of this kind, so to collect primary data from organization at the grassroots level. And this shows the diversity and richness of all these organizations. And we can actually estimate that there is at least one inclusion intermediary, in the broad sense we have defined it, for every 2,000 citizens in the European Union. And they offer a wide range of services, both ICT enabled, but also more social or employment oriented. And it is actually a powerful but very fragmented landscape where we see there is a lot of micro-organization with limited resources and ranging from the public, the private and the third sectors. Well, I will not go into details. If you want to know more, there will be a session after my speech to discuss the details of the survey with our colleagues of Telecenter Europe and also researchers from the University of Washington that helped us in the analysis. As far as the other component of MIREIA, it is about demonstrating the impacts. We have seen a lot of interesting and inspiring examples today, but as far as it is concerned policy and scientific evidence, it often remains on the anecdotal level. We know that ICT-mediated intervention have the potential to amplify the effect of these initiatives and contributing to empowerment, to enable innovation, to extending the outreach of individuals and communities, and so ultimately to contribute to socio-economic development. But this is yet to be fully demonstrated. The main problem of, let's say, the scientific community, but also of the policymakers, how can we show that there is a cause-effect link, a causality link between funding, for example, an ICT training course and producing effectively more employment or growth in a specific region. So that's why we are trying to address this very important question, and we are building, in collaboration with researchers and practitioners, the MIREIA Impact Assessment Framework, that of course is a complex instrument and complex endeavor, where we try to look at both the micro and the macro effects and the meso effects that ICT-mediated intervention can have. To do that, of course, we have to start from the user's needs and go through the organizational performances up to the impact assessment on the specific context of reference. And here, for this reason, we are developing a number of instruments to address the various issues I mentioned. And most important is the need to provide the counterfactual impact evaluation, so to show the effect of what would happen if an intervention is not taking place. I will not go into details for this as well. I will invite you to a workshop we are having tomorrow. This is the conceptual and methodological framework we are developing. It is a work in progress. We are seeking inputs from other researchers and practitioners, so the people like you that are in the field on a daily basis, so to better understand the feasibility and the challenges of this approach. But the expected benefits is trying to link the specific project and initiatives that each of you is running on a daily basis up to the policy level, so that we can make the link and show effectively the impact of all your efforts. And in addition to that, we are not just, let's say, studying it or researching in theory, but we are applying it in the real world. So with 4 pilots that we have identified in Poland, the library development programs, in Ireland, the fast track to IT that was also showcased earlier today, here in Andalusia, an initiative of the Guadalinfo network, the INESIA, and in Italy, in the Emilia-Romagna region, with the Pane and Internet, Bread and Internet program. And just to give you a flavor of the kind of results we are just gathering, an example from the specific initiative called Pane, Internet and Lavoro, Bread, Internet and Jobs in the Emilia-Romagna region, shows that there are actually changes in the behavior of participants, in this specific case on internet job search training. And this has a positive effect in the way they search jobs and so are more employable, and actually even as a proxy of expected impact, the possibility to effectively find a job. So to conclude, and of course I will not go into the details of the statistical analysis because these need further validation. And so as I mentioned, tomorrow here, and I wish to thank again the organizer for giving us the space and opportunity to do so, we are holding an expert workshop of MIREIA with experts coming from all over Europe and other countries to discuss the framework and the preliminary results, but also to start discussing what is needed to scale it up from the piloting experiences that are demonstrating interesting results into a more, let's say, large-scale implementation at regional, national, or European level. And once this framework will be available, we are aiming to make it available online for all of you so that you can self-assess your own organizational performance and the impact you are producing on your specific field. And stakeholders like Telecenter Europe, for example, could be let's say, the disseminator of this. And in addition to that, as I mentioned, social innovation is becoming an important potential response to the difficult challenges we are living today. And we are aiming to expand the MIREIA framework so to assess impacts of ICT-based social innovation initiatives. And here the focus will be, of course, youth inclusion, but also innovation in social services and long-term care in domiciliary settings, so for elderly people. So once again, we wish either in the workshop or session today and tomorrow, and or online, your inputs, feedback for this small piece of research we are conducting in collaboration with many of you, and hopefully to provide a contribution to the efforts you are all making in making Europe and the world a better place. So thank you a lot.
Thank you, Gianluca. So thank you very much to all the speakers, and thank you for being here in Granada with us, and thank you to the people that are watching us on streaming. This is the end of this plenary session about innovation. Now you can go directly to the current sessions on innovation, and after that straight we can meet up in the rooftop terrace for the Andalusia party reception that is hosted by the National Society Information Agency, the NIA of Korea. And so 1 minute, and then we start our session here. So see you later at 7, and enjoy the